Continuing with our new unit franchise owner certification and our relationship with customers, let's start moving into how do we want to interact with the customer. Talked about some of this in Module 1, policies and procedures, but we do want you to make regular contact with every customer. We really do want you to build a relationship with them. We recommend to repeat again, calling your customer during the first week, doing an inspection with that customer there. After the first week, call the customer weekly. Once you're confident that the services are going the way they should, then at least touch base with the customer on a monthly basis. If you get any kind of negative feedback from a customer, whether in writing, using a logbook, etc., immediately let us know and make sure that you address it. Even if you don't believe it's a legitimate complaint, just let us know so we can help you with that as well. In terms of monthly reporting, obviously you need to submit your invoices to us monthly. The picture to the right is JanHub. Again, we're going to go through JanHub separately, but it's a very simple way to invoice us. Make sure it's to us by the 10th of each month in order to receive your payment on time, and that would be for the services you provided the prior month. If you've done a monthly evaluation sheet from the customer, you've met with them, you've reviewed the quality of the work, and we're going to go into that in just a second. Fill it out, get the customer to sign, send it to us. Depending on the size of the customer, we will also be doing an inspection. It might be monthly, it might be quarterly. And then again, we say make copies of your monthly statement and evaluation from the communication logbook for your own records. Through JanHub, you will have a copy of the statement already, so you don't have to worry about that. We repeat this again because it is important, but respond to the call from your customers or us within 1 hour. Remember, there are penalties if we can't get a hold of you, and it could also cause you to lose the account. Make sure you're following our brand standards, and just to make it easier for you, in JanHub, all of your customer contact information will be in there. So if you get a call from us or a customer, you'll have that information right at your fingertips so you can call them quickly and respond in the appropriate time. After you have the starter kit and you may have used up all the chemicals, then you replenish, make sure you replenish those chemicals, plan ahead. You can get them from us or you can get them from your own supplier. Again, these are not available through Lowe's or Home Depot. You're going to need to have a distributor, a cleaning supply company. And then you can decide whether you're going to keep those chemicals at your customer's location and the equipment. If they have a janitor closet, if you have multiple locations, then you may not want to purchase multiple vacuums, so you might want to transport it to save some money. If you're running low on something or a piece of equipment breaks down, we do have some equipment that could be rented if you needed it, such as floor buffers and that type of thing. It's always a good idea to get a 3-ring binder and keep all your customer contact, cleaning schedules, and all your safety data sheets in that. Again, your customer contact will be available in JanHub, but the cleaning schedules and the safety data sheets and any other things that you may want to carry with you, it's probably very helpful to have that binder. As a reminder, uniforms are expected. We are a brand, and so we're trying to build the brand. You're not going to walk into McDonald's and see someone wearing a Burger King shirt. So expect when you're working on a JanPro account, you're wearing something that's JanPro. The ID badges we'll provide you. I'm going to be sending out separately a link to the upload a picture of yourself, a headshot, so we can add it to your badges. We'll get all those for you. Every one of your employees needs to have it as well, so please make sure you adhere to this. We spend a lot of time on customer service and relations, and it's important that if you do have people working with you, that they are well aware of the importance that JanPro and yourself place on customer service. So if they get a complaint, they also need to not be defensive, be helpful, help try and resolve it. They or you, each time you clean, should look in the logbook, see if the customer made a comment so you can respond to it, so when they come in the next day, they can see that you did a response to it. Again, once you complete that, and you customer sees it the next day, the next time you're there to clean, remove that current complaint so that they have a clean sheet. Being proactive is critical to being professional. And so we think that it's important that you contact your customer before any problems come up. Be respectful of their time, so be brief. We have some suggestions here in terms of how, if you found our service to be, listen to them. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth, listen twice as much as you talk. Show them you're reliable. Thank them for that opportunity to address it if there is an issue. And then, are there any other services? It's a good opportunity to upsell. This is great to communicate this to your customer and build that relationship. Repeating from earlier, monthly visits are important. So again, everything's running smoothly. You stop by, you do a walkthrough, let them know you're there, you'd like to walk with them. If we're doing the walkthrough, we're going to let you know every time we inspect, so you can walk with us as well. So we may be able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone if we're both there at the same time. But again, be visible during the day when they're there, not over taking their time, but just be there enough that they know that you care. And if there is an issue, address it quickly. Repeating again, inspections, inspect each count on a regular basis, and we may also perform an inspection. At this point, I'm sure everyone has an email address. If you change it from what we have in our system, please let us know. That is how Jan Hub communicates with you as well. But don't create a difficult email. So again, the examples here, your name plus a couple of numbers, or use your LLC and create a separate email for that, which is probably more professional, so that the customer knows they're dealing with a professional. We want to provide you with every tool we can to make sure that your image and the way you interact with customers are professional. So even looking at a professional sounding email. So let's go into kind of a couple examples here just to help you get an idea of what we think would be a professional approach to a customer. Here's a good example of one where there was an issue about focusing on dusting the fans. So, Jim, I received your note about wanting us to focus on dusting the fans in your office. I'm reaching out to let you know we will take extra care of your fans moving forward. Thank you. Brief, professional, address the issue, and tell them your plan. This day and age, sometimes it's hard to get anybody on the phone. So make sure if you're leaving a voicemail, very similar to an email, just very brief, address it, concise, and let them know what you need from them or what your plan of action is. Hi Mike, this is John with JanPro, calling to discuss a problem you mentioned in the logbook. Give me a call at your earliest convenience. My number is. So again, brief, let them know that you're on it and you're interested in knowing more about it if you need to, or you can leave a brief message saying it'll be addressed tonight. We've talked a little bit previously about key security, but always try and make a duplicate of the key. Have a separate location for it in case the first set's ever lost. Never put the name or address on the key. Have a separate code, so maybe the key has a 1 on it and your key legend says 1 is 2400 Smith Street. And if there isn't a secure location in the building, then you can keep it in a locked trunk of your vehicle so that it's there. Duplicate key does you no good if it's at home and you forgot it and you're at the location. So you want to keep it, but you want to make sure that it's not labeled if you have multiple keys, that someone could easily steal it and know exactly what it gets them into. During that walkthrough, you will have hopefully given them a communication logbook. You want to maybe ask them where it could be an obvious place that you could find it and have it in the same spot every single night. Again, if after a request is completed, you write a note, we completed it, leave it in there for the next time you're there. When you open it up, if there's no additional complaints, tear that one off so that they have a clean book and they're not looking at a whole list of previous complaints. From running your business perspective, you should each month sort of what I would call value engineer, but let's call it business evaluation. So see if you've got the proper controls in place for getting efficiencies, that the chemicals are properly mixed, that people, if they're working for you, don't come in and have to mix chemicals, are ready to go. Make sure the equipment is clean, make sure the microfibers are clean, make sure your staff is familiar with all your processes, and then always look for extra opportunities. But it's really helpful to kind of step back, look at your business, and see if you have any efficiencies you can find. As we like to say here, you're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. So we want to meet with you on a regular basis to make sure that we're helping you achieve your goals, and together we want to build Jan Pro, make sure it's very successful. So approach us with a very professional review and sit down with us so that we can both mutually achieve our goals. Repeating the same thing, you're in business for yourself, not by yourself, so it's really important to meet other franchise owners. Give yourself some backup if you ever have to go on vacation or someone's sick and you need to attend to it, or even if an employee no-shows and you're strapped for trying to get something done. It's great to have an outlet as another franchise owner that you can partner up with to make sure you get some things taken care of. Likewise, you can also be a good backup for that franchise owner. Assuming things are going great and now you're starting to need to add people beyond your current network, finding employees. Craigslist is a place that many people do that. Indeed is another place that many people look for employees. Some of us that network, we've gotten involved with different state organizations that can help find employees. Once you find them, there's an application, an I-9, a W-4, confidentiality agreements that we went through in our policies and procedures. So make sure that you have your paperwork set up for each employee. We know who that employee is. Make sure they have a badge. Be very professional in your approach with the employees. As you bring employees on, make sure that you've got a training program in place for them so that they are gaining the advantage of your experience and learning from you what Jan Pro expects, our tasks, our process, our appearance, inspections, standards. Make sure that your employees are carrying forth your vision, which should be our vision as well. Having employees follow the vision is certainly kind of a strategy and a philosophy, but then the cleaning itself, you can have them go to our hands-on training cleaning class and take that. We've got videos to show the way that we expect to be clean. You can share those with them as well. And even some of our cleaning distributors, that our supply distributors, will conduct specific classes on floor care or carpet care or things like that, or the proper way to use their chemicals so that you can gain that advantage and utilize the tools that we've brought to the table so that your employees will provide the quality of service that we expect and you expect. Good practices is annually sit down and meet with the employees to review their personal goals. How many of you have worked for somebody and a year goes by, no one's ever talked to you about your goals, they've never talked to you about opportunities or frustrations at all? Don't be that boss. Be that boss that makes them feel important. If they feel good, they feel happy, and that you are paying attention to them and you want them to achieve goals, you're going to have a better employee. We've repeated this several times in both policies and procedures and also here in our customer service program, but make sure you're responsible for inspecting your account. We give you our quality report inspection so that as you look at the account, you can utilize our scorecarding to look at the areas that we look at. You should know your scope of work, and then you should know what service is expected, and as you look at it, then you should make sure that you're achieving all of those. This slide might make it a little bit easier to review the inspection report and ensure that our standards are being met. You can see the areas that we cover, from restrooms to break room, kitchens, conference rooms. Some are appropriate. You might have an office building with no exam rooms, but where appropriate, these are the areas that we look for when we're doing inspections, so learn from that and utilize that. Again, any inspection done will be pushed to your Jan Hub app, so you can view it on your computer, you can view it on your tablet, or you can view it on your phone. And then the scoring on a scale of 1 to 3, with us there is no 2. It's a pass or fail. So if the top of the toilet's clean but the bottom's dirty, it's a fail. So pretty tough scoring, but I think it's fair and it's very clear that you can see where you stand. So you should take that same approach when you inspect your employees. So let's finish up this section with talking about account transfers. We've talked a lot about all this before, so we can kind of go quickly through it. But remember, we may transfer a customer among franchisees according to the terms of our agreement, which, as I said, we covered in Module 1 as well. As a refresher, who can request an account transfer? The customer. You can request it, or we can if we feel it's in the best move of another. It's in the best move to move it to another franchise owner. What are the reasons for transferring? Well, absence of service, if you're not there, repetitive complaints, if we violated the policies, or you might want to exchange it in account in good standing for a larger one. So you're in an area and you have a small account and a larger account in that area comes up, you may want to be able to exchange it and transfer that smaller account to somebody else so you can handle a larger account. And we may also want to do that if it makes sense for both of us, that we may say, hey, we would like you to take this account, we'll help you transfer that other account. Again, as a reminder, covered it in policies and procedures, but if accounts transferred to you, you're going to, from you, not to you, from you, you'll absorb all the costs regardless of the reason. And finally, under this last part of section 3, if you're accepting a transferred account, make sure that you're signing the acceptance form. Make sure you understand the scope of work, you do your walkthrough, all the steps on accepting an account, make sure that you do so that you're prepared to take on that additional work or new work. If it's your first account, make sure you're prepared to take it on as professionally as you can.